was absolutely worth it. I've never been so stressed in my life. You know how many times I was yelling, I would rather be down by 50 because it's not as stressful. I still do see us as bottom 4, but we could be like a 15th on the ladder instead of a 17th.
We're winning the flag, guys. Don't listen to what he says.
Yeah, you're totally right. Carlton, look, they're going to be out in the finals in week 1 and we can just let it go.
Stop.
Rule number 2 is always allow players to change your mind on where you stand.
Oh, no.
You went from being the biggest Tristan Sherry hater's a strong word, skeptic in 2023. To be fair, I was too.
I think most of the fan base were.
We vocalised it quite a lot.
Yeah, and most people agreed. We had lots of comments, lots of messages. There was a few people who said no and didn't agree with that, and good on you.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think, most of the fans were aligned with that opinion.
Well, you've done a complete 180. And
Absolutely.
in what was probably one of the highlights of the season.
I've got his badge right
You've
here.
got his badge now. You also were the champion of Helmet Day.
The Tristan Jerry tribute game.
That was a real high that day. It was awesome.
Now, spoiler alert, that was my favourite moment of the season for me personally,
Fair
and
enough.
arguably my favourite moment of my North Melbourne supporting life, because the amount of people that got behind it, the club also got behind it to a degree as well. The Close to a Flag boys were involved. Steeden, the brand that made the helmets, got involved as well and supplied us with 20 of his helmets. Not that he'd worn, but the same ones he wears.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe this idea that I literally thought up in my bedroom, actually came to life as much as it did. And it was so cool. It was so cool to see the whole bay of people with helmets on and me in the crowd dishing out these cardboard ones at North.
So good.
It was fun.
It's so funny. I won't ever forget. So we're gearing up for this day, right? I had been in Brisbane that week.
Oh,
for work, and I was like, I'm so sorry. This is like the worst timing ever. I'm not in the state. I can't really help with anything until on the day. And so Josh was like, oh, it's fine. We'll get the helmets delivered to the barbershop and we'll get the helmets. It's fine. And then I get to the ground early. I'm helping Grace do bestie stuff, and I'm standing there with 2 of the admins from Closer to a Flag. And we are like, where is Josh? And I'm like, I have no idea. He must be running late. He's coming from work.
I was on the train.
There you are, just in a sea of Richmond and North supporters. You've got Josh walking down the bridge to the top of Marvel Stadium with this gigantic
box of helmets.
As if we thought that wouldn't be suspicious to get into the
I did
crowd.
say in the group chat we've got that should we talk to anyone about this, because I'm bringing a gigantic box of helmets into a game.
I don't think anyone knew
Everyone
exactly
said,
what was coming.
Well, everyone said, no, it'll be fine. I'm thinking, I don't think it'll be fine. And on the train, I've got this gigantic box and everyone's staring at me. And I've walked this down and showed everyone, and you could just see the look on everyone's face like, oh my God, that is huge.
We got stopped at security.
We got stopped at security. I'm trying to carry this box in, and the security guy's like, hold up a second, what's going on here? And we explained the situation. They said, go and stand over there. We're going to get our supervisor to come and okay this. And Marnie's like, the club knows, and which is all true.
It was all true.
And they did let us in. But that was, what a visual it would have been seeing me carry this massive box of helmets.
And the stars all sort of aligned. North ended up getting a big win over Richmond. X came over to Bay 29 after the game, took a photo with everyone, which was awesome. Yeah. Definitely a highlight.
Oh, Dersma's mark was in that game as well.
Dersma's mark was Luke McDonald's 200, so we carried him off at the end of the game.
Sorry, Luke, that wasn't a priority on the day at all.
Talk to me about the lowlights of the season.
Oh, how long do you want this video to be?
I think the worst game, if I can speak for us both, is
I know which one it is for me.
Hawthorn, that first Hawthorn game. Yeah.
Spot on. Both 0-5 going in. Look, I have a love-hate relationship with Hawthorn. One of my best friends, Aaron, is a Hawthorn supporter.
We love Aaron.
He's a great guy.
He's great.
Rubbish team, but a great guy. And I thought he was better than that. And I was so confident we were going to win this game. I tipped Hawks with a spoon. And look, most people had the Hawks in the bottom 4. Okay, it's almost like the Tristan Sherry thing, where it's like most people didn't rate him, and then
I don't think anyone thought they would have the season that they 100%.
Had. So look, that I stared at the ceiling of Marble Stadium for half that game, just not knowing what to do.
I couldn't talk to you.
No, I didn't. No one else was there, as I was alone at Marvel Stadium, staring at the ceiling. As far as I was concerned, for that second half,
For
I've
context,
never been more depressed.
There was 13 of your closest friends sitting around you.
Oh, that's so true.
Everyone
and Aaron was
came.
one of them. That's right.
Yeah,
I invited all
everyone
my
was
friends to this
there.
game. So I got everyone in Bay 29. I had 12 mates.
And I'm sitting next to Josh, and Josh is just not talking to me.
Oh, that is the worst I've ever felt in a football stadium. Unfortunately, the other worst time I felt in a stadium was also against Hawthorn in Tasmania when Buddy kicked 13. I was there and I was in the pocket in the rain to watch him kick his 13.
Nice.
Now, this is why I don't like Hawthorn, because they keep making me
PTSD,
sad.
so fair enough.
They keep making me sad, except for 1975 grand final, which I was not even a thought for. So look, that was definitely the most depressing moment of the season for me. I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, I think we sort of got into a routine of losing when we played Brisbane again and Gather Round, and then I think Geelong was the week after that.
What about the Collingwood game?
Well, the Collingwood game is an interesting one for me.
I got told off at halftime.
yes, you did, because we do a Bay 29 meetup at halftime a lot of the times, and all the North fans were standing around and we were all just like, it's not enough points. It's not enough. What is it, 53? I think we got up by. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it was about 40 something at halftime.
Yeah, because I think they kicked a goal and ate away into the lead a little bit just before halftime. Shock, North concedes a late goal. But Marnie skipped over, because she was sitting in a different part of the ground that game. So she was skipping over, la-di-da, we're going to absolutely belt the Pies.
I was so confident.
Forever the optimist, Marnie. It's your best and worst quality. Now, you skipped over and said, oh my God, we're going to smash the Pies. How good is this? And I was so scared, and all the North fans standing around went, it's not enough, Marnie. You're crazy. Just wait.
I really thought times had changed.
And I was right. And it did not go well. Now, we'll skip all the second half, because we could just talk about George Wardlaw's first half, Nick Larkey in the first quarter.
Such a
what
great
fantastic
performance.
time. But I was actually, I got my thoughts together when the siren went, and I actually came out of that game thinking that was much more of a positive than a negative, because I understand you should win games when you're in that position, and yes, that's valid. But, Collingwood, I think, went top 4 with that win, and we were at the bottom of the ladder. So I came out of that game going, I've never seen us play that good. Even prelim final 2014-15 North, I don't think it was as fun to watch as that first half against Collingwood. That is what we can do, and if we can get some more legs into these young fellas, some experience, which we've done in the trade period, if we can ever do 70-80% of that for a game, we win most games. So it's coming, but not just yet.
I think by halftime of that game, the entire football world had their eyes on Marvel Stadium.
I agree.
And backing North as well.
100%. And look, I came out of that game thinking it's a positive. One of the close to a flag admins seemed quite emotional after the game, was quite moved and heartbroken. But we did have a chat. We were walking out together, and I said, look, man, North was not even meant to be in that game. If we said North lose by a point before I know the circumstances changed things, but if North were going to lose by a point, we would have taken that, I think, before that game.
I would take it 100%.
So it's like, yes, it's a contrast, but the highs were so high. Don't let yourself forget that. When we weren't even meant to these are the reigning premiers who were getting into top 4 with that win at the time. We need to take that as a win. And if we can do that, which we ended up doing a lot more after that game as well, I think we need to take this as a positive. In the grand scheme of things, I think it's a win. So I was pretty happy. The only thing I was unhappy about was there's so many Collingwood fans coming to the barbershop. I would have had 12 months of saying, we beat you guys. Damn. Yeah, but we beat you. That's always the response.
Yeah,
and that would have been so sweet.
Shut them down straight away.
And then I had to divert to, we're on the bottom of the ladder, we nearly beat you guys. Even
that
good.
It makes me sick. I hate
Which
that
wasn't
stuff.
as good, but I had to use it anyway.
Marnie, I got a surprise for you.
You have a surprise?
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, no, you really? Okay.
No, I haven't told Marnie about this, guys.
Oh, no. You
So
don't keep anything from me.
Oh, well, apparently not.
Oh, no.
Now I can't be trusted.
What?
I have a birthday present for you,
You have
Marnie.
a birthday present for me?
I have a birthday present. Excuse the Christmas wrapping. It's all I had in the cupboard. I have a birthday present for you. Now, please, can you open it on the podcast and share it with everybody?
Oh, my God. Josh.
Yes. It's from me and Daniela.
I think we're going to need a bit of protection after the weekend.
Well, in more ways than one. There's going to be a few latex companies all over the place. So I still don't know how I feel after the win. No, loss. We lost. I'm so used to winning. I'm so used to winning.
Jay, how quickly things can turn.
You're 1 cent short.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, bugger.
It's been a really big, I'd say probably big 12 months, 12 to 24 months.
Absolutely.
How are you feeling about North Melbourne and the podcast in 2025?
As for the club, very positive. And you know this more than anybody else. I'm positive North, but I'm realistic with it, and I don't personally expect finals for 3 to 5 years still.
We're winning the flag. Just ignore what he said.
Yeah, but I think every year we can take a step now. As a fan base, I think we really like what we've done so far. The draft hasn't happened just yet, but Parker Darling, who I'm big on, and I think the criticism of him is incredibly unwarranted. I think it's a weak take and no one's done their research. But and with Caleb Daniel, which is arguably for me the most underrated trade, even though the likes of David King didn't seem to rate it. I think we've done everything we possibly could have done, and it makes me really excited for next year. Now, when I say excited, do I think we're bottom 4? Probably, not because I don't think we're good enough, but because it takes probably 9 to 10 wins to get out of the bottom 4 these days, which is incredibly tough. So even if we're bottom 4 and win 8 games, I think that's a massive tick on the season. Then next year you want to one up that and one up it again, and all of a sudden we're in the finals. So I'm very optimistic, and the way I always describe it to people is, do Richmond fans think about Brett Deledio or Dustin Martin? They think about Dustin Martin. They don't care that they were bad for 30 years before those premierships. That has literally eliminated that period in their history now. If North Melbourne are bad through the entire 2020s and we win a flag or 2 in the 2030s, we're not going to care about the 2020s anymore.
It'll be worth it.
So that's my sort of outlook. North Melbourne, I don't think have the footy gods on their side to just have a season like Hawthorn. But I read out our list to someone at the barbershop for our under 25-year-olds, and it's scary. We are very good. It's just a lot of players over that are the problem. And now you've got Darling and Parker and Daniel, along with guys like your mate Aiden Core, who did have a good year last year. Griffin Logue coming back. Jai Simpkin, who's only like 26, 27. We've got more veterans now. We've got young guns. I think we can do a lot better next year. So 6 to 8 wins is in my head. I think that will be enough to put the footy world on notice. And let's not forget Sheasel turned 20 like 3 weeks ago as well. So
Crazy.
We've got a lot of good times to look forward to, and it will be worth it. As for the podcast, I don't really know. I think a lot of it, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm going to innovate things. I'm going to try and do maybe more short stuff on TikTok. I got a little bit better at that through the trade period.
You did. I was so impressed.
I would like to do a couple of game day videos and things like that potentially. I've got ideas. That will grow it, but the club's success will grow it more than anything. So if you're listening North Melbourne, if you want me to be successful, you need to win some games, please.
That would just help everyone.
It would help everybody. We've built up a really good audience and a really good listenership so far, which I'm super proud of. But imagine winning more than 3 games a season when this podcast is on. It'll be huge. So yeah, I think we'll continue to grow steadily, unless North do something crazy and I coincide with having a great idea and then it goes bang. But who knows? Maybe the live show will be the biggest event. Maybe we've got to get the G for it. So who knows?
Watch this space, guys.
Watch this space.
What does North Melbourne mean to you?
People have asked me this, and it's one of those ones where in your head you know, but it's hard to vocalize. I think it represents a lot of different things for everybody. To answer recently, I think the community and the family element of it is a massive thing. I never had, before meeting yourself and the Close to a Flag guys, I didn't have friends who supported North Melbourne. And in Tasmania, my best friend Matt actually supports North Melbourne. There wasn't games to go to. So since starting the podcast, North Melbourne has actually sort of changed in my eyes, where I love going to the games with everyone, being in Bay 29. It's become more of a community thing, and obviously having the podcast, getting to talk to so many people in the community and sort of having a hand in creating a community with it. It's definitely started being more of a community, family focused thing. And it's given me a new friendship group. It's given me, a little bit of a platform to talk and I don't know, it's the community vibe. And it's interesting because that's always what North Melbourne has talked about, and you can even hear players like LDU talk about. He loves that it feels like a country footy club in the AFL. It feels like a more family orientated club, and I think people at the end of the day with sports want to feel like they're a part of something. And it's not to diss any other clubs, but I don't know if you can feel as close to a club that's big as you can to a club that's small. And I think that is what North Melbourne can offer people who, look for that thing. And I think sports is all about connecting with the team and the players and the club. And I think North have been able to do that really, really well, being smaller. So I guess I'll go community and family, really. Ultimate entertainment when they're good, but,
and maybe when they're bad as well.
Yeah, maybe when they're bad as well.
Maybe we're the entertainment when they're bad.
Yeah.
The two nuffies.
I never really thought that you could be as close to a club as maybe I've felt since making the podcast and meeting all you guys, to have friends who go. And that's definitely changed my outlook on it because I haven't had that before. So, yeah, I guess that'd be my answer. The community and the people involved with it and how close you can feel and how I feel like a part of it sometimes as well. I think that's my favourite thing about North, and it means I've got a place to go that I can just be with that group of people. And I think that's a good thing.
Well, I know for me, the last sort of 18 months, and especially since the start of the year when we've been doing so much together on the pod, I agree that I've definitely made, such a good friend in you and the memories that we've been able to share so far. And I'm sure that's only going to grow.
Lots more fights, lots more hugs after the game.
Lots more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, North Melbourne's always a roller coaster, Marnie. It'll test the friendship, but I think we're past the test.
I think we're way past the test. I think we're stuck with each other for life.
Yeah, that's
now.
true. We know when to not talk to each other during a game.
The whole game.
Yeah, most of the game.
If we're not together, we're not talking.
No, that's true. Except when we
other.
win, then we run to the Imperial straight after.
We do. We do love a post-game celebration at the Imperial Burke Street. Next season, we'll have to organise one with everyone watching.
Hopefully there'll be more wins, some more opportunities.
There will be. Thank you so much for coming on.
That's okay.
It was so nice to be the one in charge. Interviewing you for a change?
Not true. It's so nice to be in the same situation with you being in charge, but on a different platform. So that's all I could possibly say for that, man.
I'm looking forward to more next year.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and more wins, more podcasts, more fan events, and hopefully, if we can organise it, another
flag
show and a flag. A flag. Yeah. Yeah,
that old chestnut.
VFL flag first, maybe
AFLW
coming up.
flag in the next few weeks, hopefully, and then backing up with an AFL flag.
Yeah, one day.
You can tell who the optimistic one is of the two of us.
Because then you'll jinx it, Marnie, and I'm like, oh, don't say we're going to win the flag.
We're winning the flag. Flaggery season's here.
Oh God.
Thank you.
It's okay. No, I'm sad and happy.